Chaos has erupted as Jake Paul just got attacked after Mike Perry's fight. Yeah, this highly anticipated clash finally happened on July 20th in Tampa, Florida, and the whole fight world is taking. But it isn't what happened in the ring that's making headlines. It's what happened after that has a chokehold on the entire boxing community. Jakey might have taken the win home, but he couldn't escape a blow from the crowd. There's a lot to unpack here, so let's dive right in. Now, we were expecting a lot from the epic Mike Perry versus Jake Paul fight, but an in-ring brawl, that came out of nowhere. You've probably seen the clip by now, but let's break it down. Jake's just won a controversial decision against Perry, and he's soaking up the crowd's reaction. Out of nowhere, boom, some dude just rushes the ring and decks Jake. The place goes wild. Security's scrambling. Everyone's freaking out. It was like a scene out of a movie, but this was real life, and it was nuts. So who the heck was this guy? Well, it turns out he's a former fighter with some serious beef with Jake. Apparently, they used to train together, but things went south, and the rogue fighter felt burned by Jake's rise to fame. It's not hard to have enemies when you're on top, love him or hate him. You can't deny that Jake has been on top of the influencer boxing scene. Look, let's be real. Jake Paul is a cash cow. The guy's raking in millions with every fight. He's turned boxing into a circus, and people can't look away. He's got a golden touch when it comes to picking opponents. It's like he's got a crystal ball for finding washed-up celebs and retired athletes who are still big names. He's a master of the hype game, throwing out challenges like confetti, calling out everyone from professional boxers to your grandma. And you know what? It works. People tune in to see if he can back up his big mouth. But here's the thing. While his bank account is looking pretty damn healthy, his boxing resume is looking kinda empty. He's fought a bunch of guys who are past their prime or have never stepped into a real boxing ring. It's like he's playing in the minor leagues while acting like he's the next Muhammad Ali. Other fighters are watching this guy make millions while they're grinding it out in the gym, fighting tooth and nail for a fraction of the payday. They're seeing a guy who's more about the show than the skill, and it's pissing them off. Jake Paul has become a lightning rod for frustration in the boxing world. So Jake Paul won his fight against Mike Perry. Big deal, a win is a win, right? Well, not exactly. Sure, he got his hand raised, but let's be real, this guy is living in a bubble. He thinks he's the next boxing superstar, strutting around like he's conquered the world. Newsflash, Jake, you haven't proven anything. Yeah, the problem child's wins are like participation trophies. Nice try, but they don't count. I mean, he's fighting old and crusty dudes. Real boxers, the ones who actually dedicate their lives to the sport, are laughing at him. And now, he's got a black eye to go with your oversized ego. Looks like someone finally decided to give him a taste of his own medicine. And trust me, it was bitter. The internet went into overdrive after Jake Paul was blindsided in the ring. Social media was flooded with shock, disbelief, and a whole lot of opinions. Fans couldn't help but laugh at the chaotic scene, turning the incident into a viral meme sensation. "Can't believe someone attacked Jake Paul in the ring. That's wild," tweeted one user. Another chimed in, "This is the craziest thing I've ever seen in boxing. Total chaos." While the drama unfolded, some fans couldn't resist a bit of humor, posting memes and jokes about the incident. But in the middle of all the chaos, some people started questioning Jake Paul's behavior. Was it his brash personality and constant trash-talking that provoked the attack? Some argued that he brought it on himself with his constant need to be the center of attention. One fan tweeted, "Yo, Jake Paul always talks trash, but he didn't deserve to get hit like that." Another user countered, "He's always pushing boundaries. This is what happens when you cross the line." As the dust settles, one thing is clear. This incident has sparked a massive conversation about the state of boxing and the behavior of its stars. The boxing world is still not impressed. These so-called boxing experts are lining up to throw shade at the guy. Joe Rogan, the UFC commentator turned podcast king, is leading the charge, calling Jake a fake boxer and a con man. He said time and time again that Jake's success is all about hype, not skill. Oscar De La Hoya, the boxing legend, is also not buying it. He's accused Jake of manipulating fans into thinking he's some kind of boxing prodigy. Eddie Hearn, the boxing promoter, is another one who's not impressed. He straight up said he doesn't believe Jake is as good as he claims to be. And let's not forget about Michael Bisping, the former UFC champ. He's been one of Jake's biggest critics, calling his fights bullshit and telling fans not to waste their time watching him. But it's not just the pundits who are doubting Jake. Even other fighters are chiming in. Canelo Alvarez, the pound-for-pound king, recently dismissed Jake as a circus act. And let's not forget about Terrence Crawford, who's called Jake out multiple times, saying he's a fraud. It's a harsh reality for Jake Paul. Despite the wins, the respect just isn't there. As Floyd Mayweather once said, "You can't buy respect." And it seems like Jake is learning that the hard way. Every victory is a small step, but he's got a mountain to climb if he wants to be considered a serious boxer. Jake Paul went from victory lap to victim in seconds flat. The dude just won a fight, and then bam, gets clocked by some random dude. This ain't boxing, it's a freaking circus. Can you imagine the shock? People's jaws were on the floor. Jake's pissed. You know the gut, he's a loudmouth and he's flipping out. Why wouldn't he? This guy just won a fight and now he's got a shiner to show for it. Can you imagine the headlines? Jake Paul knocked out by a fan? It's wild. Look, getting punched by some random dude in the ring is definitely a bummer, but let's be real, Jake Paul has bigger fish to fry. That black eye is just a tiny scratch compared to what's coming up. Mike Perry thought he was going to be the one to ruin Jake's career. Think again, buddy. Perry got served, plain and simple. Now, Jake's got his eyes on the ultimate prize, Mike Tyson. This isn't just a fight, it's a clash of eras. It's the old guard against the new. It's the biggest boxing match in decades. Yeah, if you've been under the loop, I'm sure you know that Jake was supposed to fight Tyson on July 20th for the biggest fight of his career before Tyson had to pull the plug due to a health issue. Mike had an ulcer flare-up on a cross-country flight from Miami to Los Angeles, due to which he had to stop his extensive training, and believe me when I say he was training like a freaking madman. I mean, have a look for yourself.
Day 2, we're getting ready for you. 1, 2, 3, 4.
But then bam, this fight was called off. I want to thank my fans around the world for their support and understanding during this time. Unfortunately, due to my ulcer flare-up, I have been advised by my doctor to lighten my training for a few weeks to rest and recover. My body is in better overall shape than it has been since the 1990s, and I will be back to my full training schedule soon. Jake Paul, this may have bought you some time, but in the end, you will still be knocked out and out of boxing for good. I appreciate everyone's patience and can't wait to deliver an unforgettable performance later this year. However, these two are back for an epic showdown in the ring. Yep, mark your calendars for November 15th, 2024 for the biggest fight of the year, as Jake Paul and Mike Tyson will share a ring at the AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas. This will be a fight for the ages, and trust me, you don't want to miss out. It's been making all the buzz in the fight world. The hype is absolutely insane. Social media is on fire. Fans are losing their minds. Everyone's talking about it, from casual sports fans to hardcore boxing purists. This fight has the potential to break records and redefine the sport. It's a crossroads for Jake Paul. A win could solidify his status as a boxing superstar, but a loss could be catastrophic. Tyson is a legend, a force of nature. If Jake can pull off the upset, it would be one of the greatest upsets in boxing history. But if he falls short, the criticism will be relentless. The pressure is on Jake like never before. Every training session, every public appearance, every social media post is under a microscope. The world is watching, waiting to see if he can deliver. Black eye or not, Jake's got to put in all the work to come out on top, because even beating a 58-year-old Mike Tyson is something to brag about. This fight is about to be insane to the core, and fight fans are here for it. As for Mike Perry, I bet he found a little comfort in watching Jake get punched on the face after losing to him. So, there you go, Fight World. That's all I have for you today. What do you think about Jake Paul getting attacked after Mike Perry fight? Fill the comment section with your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more boxing news. See you in the next video.